Hey up YouTube, today marks the day where I show you something I have coveted for at least 2 years since I've become a grower. So without further ado, let's get this on with. If you've already seen the title, you know what this is. This is going to be an entire video series, so don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. There's going to be a whole series on this, so let's crack on. Okay, guys. Well, I'm behind the camera at the moment. Not too sure if I'll remain behind the camera. But this, ladies and gentlemen, when I say it's something I've been coveting for a long period of time, it really, really is. This was sent to me for the purpose of review from Spider Farmer. This is the SF1000 Spider Farmer LED grow light. Now, when I say I've coveted this light for the longest of time, I really, really have. Regular viewers to the channel will know that I am a chili grower. Now, if you're going to be an avid chili grower, and if you want those super hot chilies, you kind of have to start nice and early in the season. And this, if you're here in the UK with me, is pretty much the only way you can do that, is with a grow light. So here we go. So very well packaged, a very strong, sturdy box. This is how it would come to any customer, not just some of us here in the YouTube community. Comes with a booklet. So we will be going through a lot of this upstairs. I'm going to have to take you up to my bedroom. Hey, now then, calm down. Because that is where my grow tent is going this coming year. But essentially putting up the grow tent for me actually marks the start of my 2021 season. Now I won't be putting, let's just hang on a minute. I won't be putting any chilies in it yet, but there are some things that I have started that will be going in this. Wow, look at that, it's beautiful. Custom made packaging, really well packaged, really, really well packaged. It ain't going anywhere. It's heavier than it looks. Much heavier than it looks. So, this is, as I've said, the Spider Farmer SF1000. We will go through it in more depth upstairs so you can see it in the background, but I'm just going to show you if I can get it to focus. Come on, focus up here. There we go. One thing I really like about the Spider Farmers is that dial there, and I'll tell you all about that upstairs with the literature. But we're just going through it now. We're just having a look at it, and we'll see where we're going. So, aluminium backed LED system. You'll notice it's nice and slimline. No fans, which means it's silent, which means that this year I can put it on in the bedroom. Also in the box, some of you computer nerds may recognize this. I believe this is an RJ11 cable. What this is being used for, I will also explain. But long story short, you can daisy chain the lights together using those RJ11 cables off a single plug. I don't know what the limit is until I look in the literature. Another thing comes in the package is these block and tackles. These are worth their weight in gold if you're going to use these LED lights, because you're forever moving your LED lights up and down. Or at least for me, I am in the second stage of my growing. The tent that this is going to go in to start with is going to be a seedling tent. And then hopefully, as the series progresses, I'm going to try and maintain a plant in a tent for a year using just the spider farmer as a source of light. So it's going to be a long series. Like I said, don't forget, like, share and subscribe. But this light, honestly, I mean, like I said, it is heavier than it looks. But let me just move this stuff back up here. Let's get this, get the main beast in shot there for you. Obviously, this being a UK supplier, we have a fully moulded UK plug. And as I've said, they are daisy chainable. So you only actually need one plug socket, even if you were to run multiple lights. So let's get upstairs, let's put this up in the tent, and let's have a proper talk about it. So I'll see you upstairs in my bedroom. Hey, steady on now. Okay, so here you are in my bedroom. Don't tell the missus, eh? So I've got my grow tent set up. As you can see, I am not a professional grower. This is a readily available tent you can buy to grow at home. And I tend to find that in here, when it comes to my chili season, I can get somewhere in the region of 40-ish seedlings maintained in here. And then obviously, if I sow December, January time, they then fortify in the tent with enough, and then they get strong enough to be able to then go out onto the windowsill around March time, ideally in a south-facing windowsill. But this isn't about the chili growing, is it? This is about this beauty right here. Once again, let's do it right, eh? The Spider Farmer SF1000. So I'm just going to grab the literature and we'll go through some of the bells and whistles that this has over a regular, or shall we say cheaper, much cheaper Amazon LED light, and I'll show you one of those as well. We're not going to dwell on it too much because, like I said, I'm going to do a full breakdown of what all the numbers mean and what all the differences are. You know, what this does for your plants that perhaps natural light at particular times of year doesn't do, or what this does to replace natural light that you may not have the option of. That's going to be a separate video. Once that video is made, there'll be a card up here or over here. I never remember which way around it goes, but there'll be a card in one of the corners with regards to the follow-on video, and also it'll be on the cards at the end of the video. So let's grab the literature and let's run through a few bits and pieces. So one of the main things that attracts me, and they shout about it as they rightly should, one of the main things that grabs me or leads me to the Spider Farmer series of lights are these Samsung LEDs and the Meanwell driver, and the features that they have with them. The Samsung LEDs, their wavelengths and their spectrums, their efficiency, everything like that is second to none in my opinion. The Meanwell driver gives you options that otherwise you may not have. I believe it's the Meanwell driver that gives you the options of it being dimmable and controllable. So you may think, well, you know, why do you want it dimmable? Why do you want it controllable? Well, at different points in their life, the plants require a different type of light. Now, these have the full spectrum of LEDs. If I can find where it tells you, let me see. Oh no, it's an RJ45, not an RJ11 cable. Sorry, techies were probably already correcting me in the comments below. What was I doing? Oh, the LED colours. Well, on this, you've got, as I've already mentioned, and as you've already seen, you have the full spectrum. So you've got red, red, blue, infrared, and green. The three colours, they're the three colours. He says, holding up 4 fingers, or 3 fingers and a thumb. They're the main things that your plants need, and they need them at different points in their life cycle. Once again, that's a story for another time. But whilst these Spider Farmer lights are very, very much geared up towards somebody who's pretty dedicated to growing, they're a professional quality piece of kit available for the home grower. They have step-by-step basic instructions, so they understand that not everybody's going to have used lights previously. Not everybody's going to be confident that that what they're doing, that they know what they're doing. So even you've got a basic guide to stringing distances and lighting times right here in the book. I mean, yes, this book's, you know, several pages long, but in actual fact, it's only instructions wise. What are we? 2 pages? 3 pages? Let's have a look. Oh, I'm trying to separate a page that isn't a page. So yeah, operation 1, 2. So you're set up and ready to go once you've assembled in 2 steps, guys. It really is that simple. So I'm going to set this up now in my tent. Well, it took me about 10 minutes, but we got there in the end, and it's not through any fault of the Spider Farmer light by a long shot. I wanted to use everything that was in the box. So I'm going to bring you in for a closer look, and yeah, we'll have a look together, eh? And let's finally get around to turn this baby on. So you can see what I've got here. Obviously, we've got the Spider Farmer SF1000. That's here, and that's on the block and tackle. Now, the block and tackle really isn't, and let's just call them pulleys, eh, from now on. The pulleys aren't really necessary for my setup in this tent here. They have a very, very, very high range of height. They're meant for more vertical height. But as I like to try and keep everything together, I've just put some loops around up in the top corner there and attached it onto the paracord. This paracord's like rated for £550. So yeah. So we've got the block and tackle coming down now. The reason behind this stuff is obviously, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to show you, but we'll persevere, is so that you're able to raise and lower the light as is required. So like I say, in this scenario, doesn't make a great deal of difference, but as the growing year goes on, that's going to be a really useful feature, because you don't want the light sat sort of that close to your seedlings, otherwise there's not really any light spread. So at different points in the health of the life of the plants, you have everything set at different heights, different strengths, different brightnesses, so on and so forth. So let's turn this bad boy on, eh? Let's get this turned on. Just a quick rundown, simple controls, channel 1, channel 2. So if you were daisy chaining these together with the supplied cables, you go from channel 1. No, sorry, on this light, if this was the first one in the series, you'd go from channel 2 into channel 1 on your next light, and then from channel 2 on that light into channel 1 on the next light. Spider Farmer, you'll have to let me know in the comments below if you're watching. Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me if there's any limitation as to how many lights you can daisy chain. The documentation only shows, and I'll show the guys at home, only shows 3 lights in daisy chain. So that could be your limit. So there's a nice feature. And then also, in actual fact, it looks like your primary light then becomes your sole control as well. So for your dimming and things like that, it's this is the only one you don't have to worry about sort of sitting there and going, oh, that one's at 20. Need to set that one at 20 and that one at 20. Becomes your master control. So we've got it set it up. We've got it in the tent. Let's turn it on and let's see how bright it is and how loud it is. It's that simple, guys. It is silent. This amount of light is on its lowest setting. Shall we crank it up? Let's crank it up. So you can see it's graduated. At least I don't know if this will be coming through in the video. Wow, I can't even look at that now. So that's at max. I can't look at that. I have to turn my head away. You can see it's a bright white light, or at least to us it looks like a bright white light, but in that light is a full spectrum of light that the plant needs. Let's turn that back down, when we can just about tolerate looking with it on its lowest setting. But what I'm going to do now going forward is I'm going to leave this on for a few hours and see how the light warms up and see if anything changes. But that's it. It aside from my own issue with my tent and sort of it not having thin enough bars to hook the hooks over, which normally of course would, especially if you were in sort of a fixed tent environment or a shed environment or a building environment, you'd sort of have these onto eyes that are then attached to the wall or anything like that, which may well be something I do later in the season, because the availability of this quality of light means that I can start looking at doing a dedicated grow space for year-on-year chili and early vegetable growth. Right now, what's going to go in the bottom of here, or when I bring them home, is going to be my Showmaster onions. So the onions I'm trying to grow to be of a decent size. And then when they will then get evicted when the chilies go in here in late December. It's all going to be in a video series, guys. So please do remember to come along for that journey. We will be showing this Spider Farmer light do its thing as much as we possibly can. I think they're a great investment. But as I've already said, this is a continual series, so you'll have to subscribe. It'll be in its own dedicated playlist, and you'll be able to follow along my experience with the Spider Farmer light throughout my entire growth season of 2021. It will start properly in December when I put the chili seedlings under it, but for now we're going to put the onion seedlings under it in about a week or two. There is going to be another video, like I've already said, where we're going to talk a lot more about the technical stuff, the spectrum of light and things like that, and why a proper LED setup has a better chance at giving you a stronger, more survivable plant as opposed to something like this. If this is all you can afford, there's nothing wrong with it. But you get what you pay for. These are not cheap. There are links to purchase them. They're not affiliate links. There are links to purchase them in the description below. And as always, guys, I've got you a discount code. That will all be in the description below, as well as I'll probably put it along the bottom of the video here. But I've got you a discount code for Spider Farmer's eBay shop. Because I love yous. And without you, there'd be no me. So I always try and get you the best I can. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and follow along to see how I get on with the Spider Farmer and just what I think about it in the coming months. I'm going to be doing all sorts of maths and things like that in upcoming videos. We're going to talk about its power consumption, how much that would, and what that means to you in real world money. All that sort of stuff. I'll do all those conversions for you as best I can. So I'm going to call that a day for now. This video has been a lot longer than I anticipated. In fact, it's time to go get the kids from school. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.